What's up, guys? It's the Farooqi brothers, Shiraz, Zian, Umar, and Samir. And today for you guys, we're going to be talking about Matt Reeves The Batman, and in particular, a new report that came out from the Direct saying that the Joker will be heavily featured in Matt Reeves' Batman trilogy, particularly in parts 2 and 3. And the specifics of the report comes from Daniel RPK, who's contributing for the site. And basically what he's hearing is that Joker will not show up in the Batman. Next year's the Batman movie is coming out, but he's going to be referenced. So again, picture Batman Begins, where in the end they reference Joker. And then he's going to be a major player for parts 2 and 3. Matt Reeves, we know, is a visionary director, the Planet of the Apes trilogy, the second two, of course. He knows what he's doing, and we all want to see him pull something crazy off of Batman. But of course, you can't have Batman without Joker, especially for a trilogy. So let's discuss it. Let's break it down. Let's get into what we think about Joker showing up. You can touch on a variety of topics between who we want to be cast in the role to is maybe Joker being overused. Let's cover all that right now. We'll start with Zian. What do you think?
Well, obviously, the initial reaction is, as you're seeing people that, like you said, is Joker being overused? And in my opinion, I don't think so, because every director, every writer who's getting a chance to handle this character in a big film setting is presenting him in a completely different way, in a completely new way. You see it with Jared Leto, you saw it with Heath Ledger back then, and now with Joaquin Phoenix. All have been amazing Jokers in their own right. So saying that, are we overusing Joker? I would disagree. If anything, it's great that we're seeing more of him, or we're going to see more of him. And with the tone and how dark this universe, this trilogy is going to be, I think Matt Reeves can really push the envelope with this Joker, and really, unlike Joaquin's Joker, you're going to make this one no sympathy, no reasoning, just an insane, serial killer, almost like Cletus Cassidy, Carnage. Start off like that, like an insane guy, no remorse, no emotion, and just make him like the most frightening Joker you can. And there's so many actors, so many different ways you can go with it. I feel if they really want to shake it up and do something completely fresh, a great actor, if you've seen any of his films, any film he's in, LaKeith Stanfield, terrific actor, and I think he could really kill this role if given to him. And it would definitely be something really fresh and new to the Joker.
I think that overuse and how he's being presented are two different things. So he can be presented in different ways, and that's fine, and that can contribute to like how fresh each Joker is. But in terms of being overused, I think it's a conversation that really doesn't. It's kind of irrelevant, because if you're getting a lot of Jokers but they're all really good, and the Joker's a hard character in my opinion to actually get wrong, unless the studio chops up like what they did with David Ayer's Suicide Squad, he's a hard question. He's a hard character to get wrong. So I'm excited to see him again, kind of being paired with a crazy vision. And we already know Matt Reeves is going to do something crazy. And visually, I mean, from his previous movies, we know that he uses the visuals really. He's a very good director. So when you talk about a frightening Joker, I think that's the one type of Joker that we haven't seen, a frightening Joker. We've seen a crazy Joker. We've seen the mastermind criminal in Heath Ledger's version. And then we've seen a more human type of a more sad story, a tragic story with Joaquin Phoenix. But we've never seen a Joker that's actually scary. He's literally scary. So I agree with Zian. I think that would be cool to see. And then Willem Dafoe, obviously, we saw him in The Lighthouse, right? He's in The Lighthouse with Pattinson, right? So he, that'd be cool to just have, because they already have chemistry. So you can kind of use that to your advantage if they go that route. And I think Willem Dafoe is a character that, he's an actor that a lot of people throw around for the Joker role. So it would be a fan favorite as well.
Yeah. The reason I don't think that Joker is an overused character is because when you think about, David Ayer's Suicide Squad and Jared Leto, Jared Leto's Joker wasn't even really used to his full potential. I mean, everything he did in the Suicide Squad felt like, side plot or just cameo work. So yeah, I hope to see a better Joker in
Yeah,
Not
and
a bad Joker, but you know.
even then, yeah, Jared Leto, his all his scenes were cut out. So even David Ayer said that originally this was going to be the most frightening Joker, and you kind of see glimpses of that, but unfortunately, all that was cut out. So this is the new
The
chance for them to try that again in a different way. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah. And it's worth mentioning the report. It said that one of the reasons Matt Reeves wants to use Joker for not just Batman 2, but Batman 3, is that he wants to let this character exist for more than one movie. Because we know Heath Ledger was a one and done, and then Jared Leto, at least for now, is a one and done. And then Joaquin Phoenix is clearly a one and done unless a miracle happens and they want to be Joker 2, which seems less likely now.
Wasn't there a report that they were talking about Joker 2?
They were definitely talking about it. I think if Todd Phillips, it's one of the things where WB, of course, wants more Joker. But Joaquin Phoenix, as an actor, convincing him to come back is the hard thing. So for Matt Reeves, when he's thinking, what am I going to do with Joker? He wants to use him for 2 films, for 2 and 3, according to these reports. And then if you look at how The Batman is shaping up, that movie, it's all about multiple villains, ensemble. Like the first movie is going to have Penguin, it's going to have Riddler, it's going to have Catwoman. So you're doing a lot of villains at once. And then for Joker 2 and 3, he said again that Joker's not going to be the only villain, but he's going to be a major player. So again, think Arkham City, or in the Arkham games, or even where Joker was a major player, but everyone else was there too,
Or even the Nolan show is kind of like that too, because there wasn't a single villain. In Batman Begins, it was Scarecrow and Ra's al Ghul. In The Dark Knight, it was Two-Face and Joker. So it's not going to be the first time we've seen a shared villain spot. I feel like it's going to be more in line like The Dark Knight, where there will be Two-Face, there will be Harvey Dent, a separate plot, a side villain, but in the background and the overarching kind of story, especially if he's going to be in 2 films, he's going to be like the controlling force of the situation.
Yeah, I think a better example is like Arkham Origins, I think. Where I feel like it's a good, if you look at Arkham Origins and see how Joker is used in that game specifically, I think it's an interesting way you can apply that to a Batman movie.
Christopher Nolan did a good job of like having multiple villains, but like making sure that there's a balance between like everyone's kind of screen time and everyone's performances was like the actors. He has the right actors for the role, right? I don't think performance-wise we're gonna have any issues like with Matt Reeves' Batman, but I think just seeing a balance between obviously Christopher Nolan. He's like LeBron, so it's different, but it would be if you're gonna have this many villains, you're gonna have to like make sure that you're pacing, you're just balancing out everybody, and then you have a story to tell with Batman. Like I know he's like they're jumping into like the second, third year or whatever. Like he's already Batman at this point, but at the same time, you're gonna have to make sure that it doesn't feel like we're supposed to know things already. Like you're still gonna have to intro everything.
Yeah, I think one last point is worth mentioning. I think we mentioned it a few times, but it's the fact that when we talk about overusing a character and we talk about AT&T and what that means when they purchase Time Warner, I think it's worth saying that they do care about the multiverse aspect. I mean, this is something where they don't care anymore, which is something the studio used to care about a lot, which is making sure there's only one version of a character at a single time. But as you saw with Zack Snyder's Justice League coming out, coinciding directly with the Batman, we're getting Ben Affleck and Robert Pattinson the same exact year in 2 different projects. I think the same thing with Joker. It's not going to be a big deal if we see David Ayer's Suicide Squad next year as well, and then you also have a hint of Joker in the movie in the Batman. And then obviously this idea that if Joker 2 isn't even going to happen, like let's say Joaquin Phoenix decides tomorrow that, you know what, I'm down with it, Todd Phillips, let's get together, let's tell the continuation of my Joker. That's still not going to affect Matt Reeves because AT&T does not care anymore. They want as many versions of a character as long as they're different, which is one of the big reasons why Jim Lee pushed for the Flash to show up on the Crisis crossover where you had 2 different Flashes to kind of really dive in and tell the audience that we're okay with multiple versions of the character. So it'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, and kind of a good point you made was if they do that, there'll be 3 Jokers, and technically they can do a 3 Joker storyline. They can adapt that into a film. That would be pretty sick to see. Because it'll be 3 simultaneous Jokers in 3 different worlds.
Especially because, we could see Jared Leto's Joker in future Justice League movies, maybe.
Yeah, who knows?
Anything's possible.
I think that if they do this, it's actually a chance to be different from the MCU, right? Because the MCU is like one thing. This is a chance to actually separate yourselves. Like if you ever like imagine you have a scene on screen, live action, in the movie theater, of Robert Pattinson somehow meeting Ben Affleck's Batman, or you have the three Jokers, for example, meeting, or some freaking nuts like that. That's something that no one's actually done on the big screen. So that would be cool. Like if they actually went that route, and it looks like they're going that route, that would be freaking crazy. That's a step that the MCU didn't even take. So
yeah, and again, it's all about differentiating yourself. I think this is what a lot of people are saying since the beginning, that DC doesn't have to be like Marvel. And just because Marvel has that formula that works for them, and obviously it did as a juggernaut franchise, and it's still going. For DC, when they tried to do it, and then it was not like Marvel enough in terms of tone, they got angry. And then obviously when they detached themselves, said, you know what, forget cinematic universes, we're going to make everyone be in their own little worlds of DC. That didn't necessarily work either, outside of Aquaman performing, but then Shazam and Birds of Prey did not perform up to expectations, right? So it's one of those things that now they're saying, now with AT&T, they're like, let's bring the cinematic universe back, but not just the cinematic universe, let's bring the whole multiverse, let's make it crazy. And that's what we're seeing right now, so it's going to be very interesting to see what comes next. But let us know in the comments below what you think. Who do you want to play Joker in the Matt Reeves Batman trilogy? What do you think about Joker being overused or not? Let us know in the comments below and join the debate. From myself, from Zayan, from Umar, and from Samir, this is the Farooqi Brothers. We'll see you next time. Peace out.